Imagine sitting across from someone and asking a simple question. How are you really doing? Not the casual version people answer with, I'm fine, but the honest one that requires someone to talk about fear, stress, or emotional pain. Now imagine asking that question to many men today. Often there is a pause, a small shift in posture, maybe a quick joke to change the topic, maybe a short answer that closes the conversation. The moment passes, and the real feelings remain hidden. Yet if you look closely, something interesting appears beneath the silence. Many modern men are not emotionless. They are carrying stress, disappointment, loneliness, and pressure like everyone else. The difference is that opening up about those feelings often feels far more dangerous to them than staying quiet. This is the quiet psychological tension behind the fear of vulnerability in modern men. From a young age, many boys learn a simple emotional rule. Strength means control. Crying too easily, expressing fear, or revealing emotional pain can lead to teasing, rejection, or the label of being weak. These moments may seem small, but the brain is extremely sensitive to social feedback during childhood and adolescence. Over time, the mind learns that emotional exposure carries risk. Instead of expressing feelings directly, many boys begin to manage them privately. They redirect emotions into action, humor, silence, or distraction. By adulthood, this habit can feel almost automatic. But the fear of vulnerability is not only about childhood experiences. It is also shaped by the expectations placed on men in adulthood. Many societies still associate masculinity with reliability, control, and problem-solving. Men are often expected to provide stability in difficult situations. When things go wrong, financial pressure, family conflict, career setbacks, there is an unspoken belief that the man should remain steady. Admitting fear or emotional confusion can feel like failing this role. The mind quietly asks a dangerous question. If I show weakness, will people still trust me? This creates an internal conflict. On one side, every human being has a natural need for emotional connection and understanding. On the other side, many men carry a learned belief that exposing emotional pain could damage their image or their relationships. The result is emotional containment. Feelings are experienced internally, but rarely expressed fully. Modern culture adds another layer of complexity. In recent years, there has been a growing conversation encouraging emotional openness and mental health awareness. This shift is positive, but it has also created a confusing transition period for many men. They are told that vulnerability is healthy, yet they still live within social environments where emotional exposure may be judged or misunderstood. A man might open up about stress or insecurity only to notice discomfort in others, or feel that his words changed how he is perceived. Experiences like this reinforce caution. Digital culture also plays a role. Online spaces often reward confidence, dominance, and certainty. Vulnerability, which naturally involves uncertainty and emotional exposure, does not always fit easily into these environments. When men observe how others are rewarded socially, whether in workplaces, communities, or online conversations, they may conclude that emotional restraint is safer than emotional honesty. There is also a psychological component related to problem solving. Many men are conditioned to approach emotional difficulties the same way they approach practical problems. Identify the issue, fix it, move forward. But vulnerability is not about solving a problem quickly. It requires sitting with uncomfortable emotions and allowing another person to witness them. For individuals trained to prioritize control and resolution, this process can feel unfamiliar and even threatening. Over time, avoiding vulnerability can create its own consequences. When emotional experiences remain unspoken, relationships may stay on the surface level. Partners, friends, and family members may sense that something deeper is being held back, but cannot access it. This distance is rarely intentional. In many cases, the person withholding vulnerability simply does not know how to express emotions without feeling exposed. Yet vulnerability has a paradoxical quality. The very thing that feels risky is often the same thing that deepens trust and connection. When one person reveals genuine emotion, fear, uncertainty, disappointment, it signals authenticity. It allows others to respond with empathy rather than assumption. But reaching that point requires stepping beyond years of learned emotional caution. The fear of vulnerability in modern men is therefore not a sign of emotional absence. It is the result of psychological conditioning, shaped by childhood feedback, cultural expectations, social observation, and personal experiences. Many men carry rich emotional worlds that remain largely private because revealing them feels unpredictable. Understanding this dynamic changes how we interpret silence. What may look like emotional distance can actually be emotional protection. Beneath the quiet exterior, there may be thoughts, fears, and hopes that simply have not found a space where they feel safe enough to appear. And perhaps the most important insight is this: vulnerability does not erase strength. In many ways, it requires a different kind of courage. The courage to be seen without the protective armor that many men have spent a lifetime learning to wear.